Coach, we are here with WMUBroncos.com giving people their first look with you as our new wide receivers coach. So tell us a little bit about what it means to you to be the new wide receivers coach at Western Michigan.
This is a special place to me. If anybody who knows me knows that this was a goal of mine to get to the Division I level, to get to the FBS level as a position coach. This is where I kind of got my start outside of the Division III level. So it was a very, very special move for when Coach Lester called me to be able to come back. I have a history here with being here in the past, and just being able to come back and hopefully do the same things that we did in those years and help these guys do the same thing. I think that's what makes it really, really special to me to come back here. To be one of 131 wide receiver coaches in FBS. I mean, that's pretty honorable, so it's very cool to think of that and to be able to do it in a place where I did get part of my education from, and then to give back to these kids what they work really hard at every single day to be the best that they can be.
Coach, you were here in 2015 and 2016. Obviously, lots of great memories for a lot of Bronco fans during that time. What are a couple of those memories that stand out to you that you would love to give this group a chance to repeat?
Being a graduate assistant for those 2 years, that was special, like I already mentioned. But obviously, being able to go to the Bahamas Bowl in 2015, then going through the special year of 13-1, and then going to the Cotton Bowl, was something that, we've never seen here. And it was very cool to be a part of that, to be a part of those kids, to be around a guy every single day that treated me with respect, listened to my coaching, like Corey Davis. Those memories are the coolest to me. When I got the job, Carrington Thompson, Michael Henry, Trevor Sweeney, Zach Terrell, all those guys, Jake Spinnick, all those guys hit me up and said how excited they were that I was coming back. So that means more to me than just being the receiver coach here. It shows the impact and the influence I had. Taylor Moton texted Coach Lester. It's just cool to see those guys, that were on those teams and the impact that I made on them, because I just had a relationship with them. That's my number one thing with being a coach, is to develop a relationship with the guys in my room. And everything that goes out on the field is extra. Obviously that's how we get judged as coaches, and that's how they get judged as players, how many games they win, how many they lose. But just the fact that some of those guys I hadn't talked to in a while, and they tracked down my number, they had my number, and they congratulated me on it. I think that's the coolest thing of it. And then seeing guys that were here, when I got back, and guys that are on the team, and how excited they were, and certain players that vouched for me as a coach, I know played a factor in me getting this job. So that, those are kind of the fond memories that I have, not necessarily going to the Cotton Bowl, not necessarily going to the Bahamas Bowl, but just the relationships that I built with those guys, throughout those years, and it being my first time to be on the Division I level, I think is cool.
Coach, you have talked about your rise from a graduate assistant to being a position coach now. There's obviously a lot of growth that you have undergone in the profession. Kind of what are one or two areas that you think you've really grown in?
Obviously, my growth has been in learning the wide receiver position. I learned as a graduate assistant. I learned as a quality control assistant, and then I was able to go and be a wide receiver coach and actually do it on the FCS level. So I was able to go get hands-on experience and had success. I helped develop a room that made huge strides, and I thought that was very beneficial in my career. And then obviously I went back and was a quality control assistant again, and was able to learn more and see what I did on the field the year before, and then see how can I learn from those mistakes or the things I did well, and how can I make it better. So I think I'm very knowledgeable in the position of wide receiver play. I hope that the guys that I've been around, they'll impact me as I move forward in my career, and what I've learned from them and how I can take it into this room here. But then obviously, I mentioned it earlier, just with the relationships you have to build, you have to understand and get to know every single kid on a personal level and understand what motivates them, what makes them tick. If you don't do that, you're never going to be able to get to their fullest potential. And because you're going to be coaching them hard, you're going to be demanding a lot out of them. You're going to be in football all the time with them and meeting with them. And so that's the biggest thing. You can't just be coaching and hard on them all the time. Like, you have to know them on a personal level. You have to know their family. You have to know where they're from, what their family background is like, what they've been around their whole life, who their girlfriend is, all that stuff. And so I think it's all, important that as I've gotten older, I've been able to mature and grow in that aspect of it, because the football side is one thing, but if you don't have the relationship with these guys, they're never going to play hard for you.
You talk about maximizing all of your players individually. Kind of from a general perspective, what can people expect to see out of that wide receiver group this year?
Well, when they watch them on Saturdays in Waldo, they're going to see a group that plays hard. That's the number one thing. They're going to compete. They're going to play extremely hard. They're going to have a mindset and an attitude that, we talk about it all the time as a position group, that we want people to be like us. We want it to be a group where if an incoming freshman comes in, they just step in line and they know exactly what the expectation is. So they know what the expectation is from me, but the fans are going to be able to see a group that is very fundamentally sound, that plays hard, and at the end of the day, in the fourth quarter, they want the ball. So I don't care what the situation is. It's the last play of the game. It's the first quarter. They want the ball on a key third down. They want the ball on a 2-minute drill. They want that, that opportunity, and they want their teammates to expect that. When the ball's thrown their way, they're going to make the play. And if they play that way, I think this position group will have a lot of success. But at the end of the day, it's up to them to go do it. Only I can motivate them, I can coach them, I can prepare them. But at the end of the day, they have to be the ones that want to go do it. And that's the expectation. That's what is going to be expected out of me.